A very good afternoon to all of you. Today we are having this session of situation test. So as we all know that NIFT का जो written examination के results हैं वो हमारे out होने वाले हैं after 19th of March. So from 20th to 25th किसी भी दिन the results will be out. And as we all know that kids are busy with their board exams as well. And generally in the past year also we had seen that NIFT releases its result around the second last week of March, and they give around 15 days of time for students to appear for the situation test. So we had already discussed about what is situation test, but we'll go through that once again. For students who are new to our channel, kindly subscribe so that you're always updated regarding what is happening in the world of design. So as we all know, all of you had appeared for the written examination of NIFT, and now the results are going to be out. And the next phase of this examination is situation test. The weightage for this examination is 20%. Okay, so that means the examination will be there will be one question. You will have to pick a relevant option. You will be given option, don't worry about that. And you have to pick up the relevant option which you feel you are comfortable with, and that particular question will be of 100 marks. So you will be receiving marks out of 100, but the weightage of that particular examination is 20%. That means almost 80% of the examination you have already done, right? And this 20% will add up to the rank that you are supposed to get. So it is extremely crucial for students who are aiming to get a very good rank for the NIFT entrance examination, and this particular rank will secure a good branch. Okay, so if you are aiming to go for Delhi NIFT, Bombay NIFT, or any of the top NIFT centers, so you definitely have to put in your best effort for the situation test. Now as we all know, 15 days result निकलेगा हमारा 20th या 25th के बीच में, right? And students, most of the students, their board exams will get over by 26th or 27th, and you will after that be rushing to go through this particular situation test preparation, and it actually becomes very hectic for a lot of students at that point of time, because you will be having very less time. So please remember one thing: after your results are out, you have to you won't be given any rank in this particular examination. Okay, it will be very clearly written that whether you are eligible for the next round or not. And if you are somebody who's not eligible for the next round, your marks will be mentioned over there. So please remember, students who are eligible, their marks are not mentioned. Okay, so if you are eligible, if you are if you will be going for the situation test, so it will just be written that you are provisionally shortlisted for the next round. So please look for that particular statement and do not get confused. And for the students who are not able to clear the cutoff, it will be mentioned that you were not able to clear the cutoff percentage and your marks is so and so. For example, 38 out of 100. Okay, so you would get to know what the cutoff is. So say the cutoff is 40 and you have got 38. So you are not eligible. And for students who are eligible, they don't know their marks. So this particular examination becomes extremely crucial, because आपको नहीं पता आपके कितने marks हैं. तो ये जो 20 marks आपके total में जो add up होने वाला है, इसका बहुत ही ज़्यादा importance है. दूसरी चीज़, there will be a registration window. So if you are somebody who is shortlisted for the situation test, you have to re-register. Remember that you have to re-register it. Okay, you don't have to pay anything, but you have to re-register and you have to book a slot for your examination. Now what does this booking a slot means? So I'll give you an example. Say for example, from 1st of April to 5th of April conducting its situation test. Hypothetically, let's assume, okay. So आपको जब वो registration window open होगा, so you will have to pick up your slot. Okay, you have to travel to one of the NIFT centers. आप अपना center choose कर सकते हो, right? It can be Delhi, Bombay, Calcutta, Jodhpur, anything which is mentioned over there. Please note, सारे centers में situation test कभी-कभी नहीं conduct होते, तो जिस center में जिस दिन conduct होगा, according to your own convenience, you can pick this up. Also remember, it is first come first basis. So जैसे ही window खुलता है, students they rush to book the slot for the last day. उनको लगता है कि हमें थोड़ा extra time मिल जाएगा. So मेरे experience से I would always tell you that please get over with the examination. First slot, first day, second day, third day, it's pretty fine, right? Because you already, if you have prepared well, it's not that difficult. Okay, so don't always rush for the very last day, because what happens is you get to know what are the questions that are coming in the first days, and then your anxiety starts building up, right? You would not want to be in that sort of a mental state that you are all full of anxiety, and that actually kills your creativity. So please remember, believe in your own abilities and don't just go for the last day. Okay, anyways, again depends on your other priorities also, because you will definitely have to travel to a different city. So work it out, discuss with your parents, sit with your parents, and then do the registration. So you will have to pick up a particular day, okay, say 1st of April, whether you want to do it at the first slot or the second slot. So in the first half there might be a situation test happening, because please remember, they don't call in all the students in the same time simultaneously. They don't do that because you need a lot of space, okay. All of you students, when you are called to the NIFT centers, you will be provided a lot of space, a nice table and everything where you can work using all the material, and you have to make 3D. So they always call it less number of people. So there are first slot, second slot. So accordingly you book the slot, and there will be a new admit card that will be issued to you. So now, if you are going for the situation test, you will be issued a new admit card. Now this part is very, very important, because a lot of students previously I had seen that they missed out on the slot booking, and they missed out on getting the new admit card. So if you don't have an admit card, even if you are eligible, right, it would not secure a slot for the situation test, and you will be barred from appearing for this particular examination. Okay, so I think this particular part is clear with all of you. Please do not get confused, and whatever I told you, you have to keep those points in mind. Okay, now let's talk about what are we going to give you, going to offer you for the situation test. So सबसे पहले हम ये समझते हैं कि हम situation test के लिए ये कंडक्ट क्यों किया जाता है. Is it just a craft examination? क्या वो देखना चाहते हैं कि हम क्राफ्ट कितना अच्छा बनाते हैं, right? क्या हमें पेंटिंग का टीचर बनना है? नहीं, that's not the answer. So to be a good designer, you have to have certain qualities in you. Now whether you are a communication designer, whether you are into content writing, whether you are into filmmaking, there are certain prerequisites that is required for every aspirant to fulfill. So this is one of the part, this is one of the major criteria to understand whether the student is an all-arounder or not. So as we all know, NID conducts a studio test, NIFT conducts a situation test, and similarly other top design institutes also have their situation test. In fact, IIT Bombay also conducts its own situation test for the students who are clearing CEED and UCEED examination, right? So let's get started. So what are those qualities? The qualities are that how well you can visualize something, okay? For example, if I give you a question like say make a memento, okay, for the best content writer of the year, right? If you get a question like that, so you should be able to work on a concept in that given point of time and come up with something tangible. अभी तक हम क्या कर रहे थे? अभी तक हम सिर्फ स्केचिंग कर रहे थे, राइट? हम स्केचिंग कर रहे थे, अपने आइडियाज को, कॉन्सेप्ट्स को लिख रहे थे, बट हम हर चीज हमारा स्केचिंग स्टेज पे लिमिटेड नहीं होता है. As a designer, you will be creating 3Ds, right? You will be creating buildings, you will be creating furniture, you will be creating consumer items. So, when you don't know how your sketches are translated into 3D, if you are not aware of that process, then you won't be able to go to the next step. You won't be able to learn these things. And of course, ये सारी चीजें आपको कॉलेज में इतना इन डेप्थ में नहीं सिखाया जाता है. They already want certain students who have a certain amount of talent in them, and then only they can go and compete with the best. In fact, few days ago, there was this huge event of Bharat Tech, which was organized at the Pragati Maidan or the Bharat Mandapam, and over there, the Honorable Prime Minister of India, even he mentioned the amount of contribution for the last decade, for the last 2 decades, that NIFT has given to our economy and to the ever demanding the textile and the fashion industry. So you can understand that there is so much to do, there is so much to offer, contribute and learn. So this situation test is again the step which you will be taking forward to understanding this whole process. Now let's start with it. So again, situation test is all about model making. You will be given a particular question. Now वो questions क्या हो सकते हैं? हम यहाँ पे KP classes में जो हमारे classes conduct होती हैं, there are around 15 different topics जो हम cover करते हैं, because हमारे पास queries आती रहती है. Lot of my students they were asking me that what sort of questions do they give? Do they give questions related to space design? Are they only products? Are they any specific type of products? Do we have to make human figures also? And if we have to make human figures, then how do we make human figures in just those 2 hours duration that has been given? So please understand that there are around 10 to 15 different topics that you will be covering. Also, as per the new demand, as per the new criteria, again criteria हमारा same था, but हमने ये भी देखा for last 2 years the kind of questions that were coming for under जो written examination में जो quality of questions आ रहे थे, they are very different. जैसे कि इस साल we had a question related to creating a character based on AI, या फिर AI से related हमें एक product बनाना है, एक futuristic product बनाना है. So we have to think about the future, and things are changing drastically. There are new modalities which are being introduced in our day-to-day life, in our whole working module. So we have to keep those modalities in our mind, and they become some of our topics. So what do we start with? So my suggestion to all the students are the most readily available product या readily available material. हम यहाँ पे अभी material की बात करते हैं. Readily available material is your paper. Start exploring different type of papers. So from bond sheets, create paper, ivory sheets, paper with a little higher GSM. Start exploring them. Start cutting them. See how you can handle them using a paper cutter, using a scissor, which has more strength, which has less strength. Just play around with it, crumble them, maybe tear them up and stick them with Fevicol, do whatever you want. Just explore, right? And the next thing is here, I'm just giving you some examples. So here we have given different techniques. Of course, these techniques will be explored in the class. If I tell you verbally, आपको शायद उतना समझ में नहीं आएगा. This is just for your understanding कि हम क्लास में क्या करें. And as a faculty, in these particular sessions of situation test, even I will be using and manipulating these materials along with you. So don't worry. You are not alone who will be working on these models. I will be working with you simultaneously and show you the techniques. And also remember, a lot of students might be comfortable with certain set of techniques and they might not be comfortable with certain set of techniques. Something will be more time consuming, something will be less time consuming. तो हमें ये चीज हमेशा अपने माइंड में रखना है that what is the best suitable thing that we can do in the given point of time on that very day. You know, जब हमें situation test के लिए जाएंगे. So here are certain techniques that you can explore using cardboard, using gateway sheets, using paper. अब मैं अगर आपको बोलूँगी कि bond sheet से भी आप ये techniques explore कर सकते हो, तो हो सकता है कहीं पे वो वर्कआउट करेगा, हो सकता है इस वाले टेक्निक में बॉन्ड शीट्स आपका वर्कआउट करेगा, बट यहाँ पे मे बी बॉन्ड शीट वाला टेक्निक वर्कआउट नहीं करेगा, राइट? सो अगेन यू हैव टू एक्सप्लोर अलोंग विद मी. All the important things will be given to you in each and every class. Also, please note that apart from the techniques, apart from the exploration, apart from making 3Ds using paper, paper is not the only thing. उसके बाद, how do you want to graduate to? You need to graduate to the next level. You need to start using other material which are readily available and which are given in the examination. Say for example, thermocol. For last 2 years, they haven't provided thermocol, but yes, there are high chances that you will be given these particular material, right? So after going through different material, obviously we will be having first few hours of every class where we will be exploring. We won't be making any model, but just exploring the material and see how they behave. Okay, and then for each and every class we definitely will be working on the past year question. ठीक है? Now यहाँ पे मैं थोड़ा सा आपको चीज़ों को डिफरेंट भी बनाने वाली हूँ. हम सिर्फ और सिर्फ पास्ट ईयर के क्वेश्चन पेपर्स में नहीं काम करेंगे, इस पे तो एक बार करेंगे, बट वील ऑल्सो ट्राई एंड इम्प्रोवाइज दोज क्वेश्चंस एज पर द 2024 model. Okay? क्यों? क्योंकि at the present scenario things are changing and the kind of questions you get, they also would change. Okay? Because there are so many new topics that have been introduced. There are so many new events that has happened in the past. So depending upon those scenarios, you might get questions. So इसीलिए बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है कि अपार्ट फ्रॉम द पास्ट ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर उसी मॉड्यूल पे बेस करके हम कुछ फ्यूचरिस्टिक क्वेश्चंस को भी ट्राई करें. Here we do the brainstorming and also as along with the student and the faculty, it's a two-way communication. Even students can come up with ideas. Students can give ideas that what if we do so and so thing, and everybody, I mean, it's your session. You are there to learn. You are there to also add value. So always come up with new ideas, new type of questions. Now here we can see that the material list has been given, right? So say cardboard, the number of sheets that you need to use, what are the other things like gateway sheet, transparent sheet, thread, needle, quilling paper. So you will be explained each and every material that you will be using for that specific model. Also remember, when you start these classes, you will be given a complete list of material. You need to go buy them from a wholesaler or any stationery which is convenient for you, right? So you will be given the material beforehand. The material list will be given to you beforehand, and for each and every class you need to just keep those things handy and only use the amount of material that has been prescribed to you in the class. तभी तो हमें पता चलेगा. मान लो हमने आपको 2 sheets prescribe किए, एग्जाम में भी आपको 2 sheet मिले, and if you are wasting it, if you are not able to do anything out of it, then of course it's of no good use. Now the next question I know that might be popping in your head is, क्या हमें सारा material use करना है? The answer is no. You don't have to exhaust everything, but you can use a little bits bits and pieces of each and every material. Also remember, some of the material you would be using as your tool. For example, अगर मेरे पास आइसक्रीम स्टिक है और मुझे वो आइसक्रीम स्टिक को किसी भी मॉडल में नहीं यूज करना है, आई फील दैट इट्स नॉट रेलेवेंट फॉर द थीम मॉडल or the concept that I'm thinking, so it's absolutely fine. Maybe I use the ice cream stick for applying glue because I don't want to ruin my hands. I don't want the model to be ruined. So I might use that ice cream stick as my tool. So please remember, you will be using the material not just in creating the model but also as your tool. And that would also, make a lot of difference in how smartly you are using the things that has been given to you. Now, after we are done with each and every topic and we are working on it, we will be giving you 2 hours time which will be exclusive for working on the model during the class. You won't be doing it at home, you won't be doing it any other time, you will be doing it then and there. इससे क्या पता चलेगा, इससे हमें ये समझ में आएगा that whether students are able to handle those materials properly or not. Then now let's look at some of the models. For example, I have taken up these particular images from various websites. Now, do we have to copy anything? No, we don't have to copy each and everything, but जो भी आपको material दिया जाएगा, you obviously will be creating a base. Please remember that creating a base is important, और उसके ऊपर you will be doing add-ons depending upon the whatever concept you have in your mind. Now this particular question had come in 2017 which says create a mask inspired from nature. Ab in 2017 mask ka matlab was very different. Mask was like something like an accessory which you wear for any particular event or anything. But post COVID, whenever we say mask हमें पता चलता है कि okay, something which we are using to cover our faces, right? And in fact we were looking at a lot of different concepts in those masks also, which not only creates a drama but also helps you to prevent yourself from different these. Okay. Design an overcoat for a young girl and her grandmother. This had come just once in 2012. Now please remember that you have to design an overcoat and you have to create that using the material. अब आपको आइसक्रीम स्टिक मिला है, आपको पेपर मिला है, आपको थर्मोकॉल बॉल्स मिले हैं, आपको एल्यूमिनियम शीट मिला है. So a lot of students they get confused कि हमें गारमेंट बनाना है, ठीक है, और फैब्रिक नहीं दिया है, तो हम क्या करें. So here you have to be creative and you have to think that you don't have to make it look very conventional. Okay, you don't need to make it look very conventional and you have to add a little bit of drama. So here we have certain images. Okay, so here we have certain images which tell you how you can explore. Right, you can definitely cut the paper. Again, paper का आपका the body, the base is of paper, and you can add different things at that point of time to make it look interesting, right? And of course, you might be given aluminium sheets, right? Aluminium foil. Aluminium sheet they won't give it because it's very difficult for you to handle it at that point of time. Again, create a flower vase. Now this particular question is very interesting. Create a flower vase on the theme storm and freedom. अभी हम सब ने flower vase देखा हुआ है, but when you are given a particular theme and that too such a theme which doesn't resonate with the product. When we think about the product which is a flower vase, we only think about positive stuff. Flower vase किस लिए होता है? Obviously to decorate your house, right? Somebody would put a flower vase as a, to add aesthetic. But over here, when the word comes storm, what is a storm? You might, think about a storm in terms of thunder, in terms of very fast, wind gushing through the trees. You might think in terms of something like destruction. But why to look at it in a very negative manner? Why not looking at it as brainstorming, where you think about ideas? Why can't it be a storm of beautiful emotion when you look at something which is your favorite? Maybe your favorite animal is there and you're like overwhelmed, right? So you have to work on the concept, and the idea is you are not supposed to go very direct. You have to make things abstract. Please remember this word, that you have to make things abstract. Nothing should be literal. Don't make a literal scene of a tornado and broken trees, branches or trees. वो इतना ज़्यादा कॉमन होगा, बिकॉज आपके क्लास में अगर आपके क्लास में अगर 10 स्टूडेंट्स हैं जिनको ये क्वेश्चन मिला है, तो 10 में से 8 will be thinking in terms of the most direct and conventional idea. So जैसे ही आपको क्वेश्चन मिलता है, take 15 minutes to brainstorm, to think about it and go in a very very different and indirect direction. Okay, make it abstract. So sorry. So here we can see आपको फैब्रिक दिया गया है, एल्यूमिनियम वायर, अगेन वेरी वेरी कॉमन मटीरियल. अगर आपको नहीं पता है कि एल्यूमिनियम वायर कहाँ मिलेगा, प्लीज़ you can always visit a hardware shop. Remember, there are two type of aluminum wires that you get. One in the stationery shops, which is extremely flimsy. Okay, it's flimsy, and if you try to make something out of it, वो sturdy नहीं रहता है. So आपको ऐसा एल्यूमिनियम या कॉपर वायर ढूंढना है हार्डवेयर शॉप पे जो कि easily scissor से कटे. ठीक है, क्योंकि आपको कोई भी टूल ले जाना अलाउड नहीं होगा आपके सिचुएशन टेस्ट में. Yes, but you can carry your pencil, black or blue ballpoint pen. You can carry your scale. You can carry your paper cutters. Okay, 2 sizes के आप paper cutter use कर सकते हो. I always recommend कि एक जो slim वाला छोटा वाला paper cutter होता है वो use कर सकते हो, और एक थोड़ा उससे बड़ा, जिससे हमारा उसमें स्ट्रेंथ ज़्यादा होती है और आपको टाइम कम लगेगा. Scissor भी you can carry 2, one small scissor with a very pointed edge so that you can cut the paper, you can cut small edges also, and you can also carry one normal big scissor. Okay, that would just come very handy. Apart from that, आपके एडमिट कार्ड में लिखा रहेगा whether you want to carry glue or not. Sorry, glue तो आप कैरी करोगे, whether you want to carry a tape or not. पहले tape was not allowed. Recently, in previous year, they had allowed students to use tape. So please remember, the list of things of material that you need to carry will be given to you. Apart from that, आप कोई भी extra material बाहर का use नहीं कर सकते हो. आप paper नहीं use कर सकते हो extra. आप कोई decorative आइटम नहीं यूज़ कर सकते हो, लाइक स्टार्स हो गए, ग्लिटर्स हो गए, आप ये सारी चीज़ें नहीं यूज़ कर सकते हो. ठीक है. सो आइवरी शीट, माउंट बोर्ड. ओके, प्लीज रिमेंबर, ये वाला जो चीज़ है ना, माउंट बोर्ड will be provided to you. So mount board is a board on which you create your model. Do not cut that. Do not use it as part of your model. Okay? माउंट बोर्ड सिर्फ और सिर्फ माउंटिंग के लिए यूज़ होता है. अगर आप उसको यूज़ करते हो, अगर आप उसको काटते हो, अगर आप उसको मैनिपुलेट करते हो, तो आपके मार्क्स कट सकते, मार्क्स डिडक्ट हो सकते हैं. सो माउंट बोर्ड को सिर्फ बेस के लिए यूज़ करना. ठीक है. नीडल, थ्रेड, ऑब्वियसली द नीडल एंड थ्रेड, द क्वांटिटी इज़ वेरी वेरी लिमिटेड. स्ट्रॉ, जैसे यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है 5 स्ट्रॉ, तो 5 स्ट्रॉ, 6, 10, इस तरीके से वो नंबर्ड रहता है. ऑल पेन्स 10. कभी कभी ऑल पेन का पूरा एक पैक भी दे सकते हैं, लाइक द होल स्ट्रिप ऑफ ऑल पेन. न्यूज़ पेपर शीट 1 एंड कॉरुगेटेड शीट. राइट. ओवर हियर अगेन, एज सून एज यू रिसीव योर क्वेश्चन पेपर, ठीक है, आपको तुरंत आपको एक पैकेट दिया जाएगा, जिस पैकेट के अंदर योर मटीरियल विल बी देयर. Now something which is very very important for you student is that you have to take the list out. There will be a material list given to you. आप तुरंत वो list निकालिए और try and match it with the material that has been provided to you. Anything if it's missing out in that particular packet, so please then and there inform it to the faculty who's present in that particular examination hall. Do not wait for 1 hour, do not wait for the time to get over and then realize that, oh, it was written in the list that there are thermocols balls have been provided, but I don't have those. Now what do I do? They will not provide you at the end of the examination. No extra material is provided, and they might feel that you have used it up, you have just thrown it somewhere, and that's now you are going to use some extra material. So please keep that in mind. You have to cross check the material which has been provided to you. ठीक है, ये बहुत basic चीज़ें हैं, but क्या होता है, if we don't repeat it again and again, a lot of students they tend to forget because they are already under so much of stress. Next is cleanliness. So हम यहाँ पे सिर्फ एक बहुत अच्छा बहुत अमेजिंग मॉडल नहीं बना रहे, राइट? आपने मॉडल बना लिया, सब कुछ बहुत स्टर्डी है, सब कुछ है, but what if your whole desk is dirty? What if you have put loads of trash and tidbits on the floor? Please don't do that. And in fact, the faculties or the examiner would ask you to clean up the area and then leave. So remember, आपको एक पैकेट जो दिया जाएगा, आप उस पैकेट में सारा मटीरियल विच इज़ लेफ्ट और सारा जो भी टिडबिट्स गिरा हुआ है वो आपको उस पैकेट में पैक करके वहीं पे रख दीजिए. They won't be judging you on the amount of material that you have used, but just for maintaining a clean space. Because please remember, जैसे ही आप मॉडल मेकिंग मॉडल अपना बना के आप उस क्लास से निकलते हो, right after it, maybe on that very day, after half an hour or so, the faculties, the examiners, they come to judge your work. That is how it is. वो 10 दिन बाद नहीं जज होगा, वो तुरंत जज होगा. So they will enter your classroom, they'll go through all the table to check कि किसने क्या बनाया है. आपको अपना मॉडल अपने टेबल पे छोड़ के जाना होता है, ठीक है? आपके टेबल पे आपके पास जो भी मतलब डिटेल्स, रोल नंबर्स वगैरह वो सारा कुछ लिखा रहेगा. ओके, डू नॉट गिव एनी आइडेंटिफिकेशन मार्क ऑन योर मॉडल. आपको अपना नाम नहीं लिखना है, आपको अपने राइटअप में भी कहीं पे अपना नाम नहीं मेंशन करना है. ओके, प्लीज़ रिमेंबर, अगर आपने कहीं पे भी कोई भी नेम या आइडेंटिफिकेशन रिवील किया, सो यू विल बी डिबार्ड. ओके, आपका जो है वो मॉडल इवैल्यूएट नहीं होगा. ओके, सो once the faculties come, they go through all the tables, they check out your model, they would lift it, they would just twist and turn it and see how sturdy it is. So you have to stick everything nicely to the mount board. Say for example, if you are making a model of a football ground, I'm just giving you an example, and you have made the field and everything, and you have this football, you have created the football also. Make sure that you stick it on the mount board. Okay, you cannot leave it loose, that the faculties are picking it up and then turning it, twisting it, and it's falling down. So nothing should fall out of your model. That is the one thing which you need to remember. You have to give a write-up. Write-up क्या होता है, कैसे लिखना है? Of course, we will be teaching those to you in your session. ठीक है, वो write-up वाला part becomes very important because write-up के भी marks होते हैं. ठीक है, so 50 to 70 words का आपको write-up लिखना पड़ेगा, and you have to give a nice title to the write-up. Okay, here I have given some examples. अब जैसे इन examples को देख के you might not understand कि ये है क्या. So for example, this is in graduation award का मैंने image लिया हुआ है. Now this can also be a memento or a memorabilia, whatever you say, which you generally give as a recognition for somebody's work or some event, right? This again is a model on, this question had come which said that make a model on cast your vote and everything. Now, given this particular image, there's something very important point that I wanted to discuss. आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हो that the lot of text has been written. on the model. So try and avoid that. Okay, model making में it has to be completely 3D. Avoid giving text या फिर avoid giving too much of text. अगर आपको कोई text लिखना भी है तो try and cut it out of the paper. ठीक है, आपको कोई alphabet लिखना है या कुछ लिखना है, then cut it out of paper and then stick it. Directly drawing something or writing something too much, maybe 1 or 2 alphabets or word is okay, but try and avoid that completely. I would not suggest, because you have to think of a way out. You have to think about how not to add text. That is what is supposed to be done by a designer, right? कि आप text avoid कर रहे हो और आप symbols दे रहे हो. So जैसे अगर आपको exit लिखना है, आपको दिखाना है आपने कोई building बनाई and you want to show that the door is for exit. So instead of writing exit, okay, you can cut it by paper and you can always stick it. But what if you make a symbol, you make a pictographic symbol out of paper and stick it over there to show that this is the exit, or here you have to stop, or here you are not allowed to take photograph, right? So please remember that instead of text you have to give symbols. This is something that you need to make sure. Then here again I have given an image. Now this particular image is, I don't know what it is, okay, to be very honest, but here you can see a technique. Now this could be part of a wall, this could be part of any partition that you have in a living room, this could be a memento, this could be a trophy, or this could be an abstract art installation. वो क्या है, कैसे करना है, वो आप डिसाइड करते हो. टेक्निक आप किसी चीज़ में भी डिफरेंट यूज़ कर सकते हो, राइट? अगेन यहाँ पे अब हम जब एब्स्ट्रैक्ट की बात कर रहे हैं या एब्स्ट्रैक्शन की बात कर रहे हैं, सो यहाँ पे हम कुछ मॉडल्स देखते हैं. अगेन यू डोंट नो व्हाट इट इज़. क्या ये चेयर है, क्या ये बिल्डिंग है, क्या ये गाड़ी है, कार है, नहीं पता. क्यों? क्योंकि ये एब्स्ट्रैक्ट एक फिगर है, ये एब्स्ट्रैक्ट 3D है. रिमेंबर द सिमिलर सॉर्ट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस वी यूज्ड टू वर्क ऑन इन द रिटन एग्जामिनेशन. जब हम रिटन एग्जामिनेशन की तैयारी करते थे तो हम शेप्स लेके, फॉर्म्स लेके एब्स्ट्रैक्ट मॉडल्स या फिर एब्स्ट्रैक्ट स्केचेस बनाते थे, राइट? अ लॉट ऑफ यू वर वेरी गुड इन दैट. Now is the time when you take up those abstract ideas and translate them using the material that has been provided to you, right? One of the most fun part of situation test is abstracting something. Well, my personal favorite is space design. I love creating different spaces. So for example, अगर मेरे को एक reception area बनाना है, right? Like last year, the question had come that you have to design the reception area maybe of a hospital, maybe of a play school, right? So वो reception area बनाना है. तो उस reception area में what if I have a installation right when you enter? Maybe an installation against the accent wall, right? या फिर ये अपने आप में भी एक question का आंसर हो सकता है. अगर आपको क्वेश्चन आया दैट डिस्क्राइब सिटी लाइफ, ओके, हम जस्ट रैंडमली से, सो कुछ लोग होंगे वो सिटी लाइफ के बहुत लिटरल कोई सीन दिखाएंगे, राइट? कुछ लोग होंगे वो उसको एब्स्ट्रैक्ट में कन्वर्ट कर देंगे कि सिटी इज ऑल अबाउट डिफरेंट बिट्स एंड पीसेस कमिंग टुगेदर, क्रिएटिंग अ हैपहैज़र्ड स्ट्रक्चर where people from different walks of life are responsible for adding value or adding support to each other. स्टोरी आप अपने आप फॉर्म कर सकते हो, राइट अप आप अपने आप फॉर्म कर सकते हो, कॉन्सेप्ट अपने आप फॉर्म कर सकते हो, बट एक पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन को हमें एब्स्ट्रैक्ट की तरफ लेके जाना है या हमें लिटरल की तरफ लेके जाना है, ये आपको डिसाइड करना है, राइट? नाउ फ्यू क्वेश्चंस वहाँ पे देयर इज नो नीड टू मेक इट एब्स्ट्रैक्ट. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर आपको चेयर बनाने को बोला है तो आप चेयर ही बनाओगे, राइट? यस, उसके ऊपर मे बी एब्स्ट्रैक्ट पैटर्न्स बना सकते हो, बट आप पूरे चेयर को एब्स्ट्रैक्ट नहीं बना सकते. आपको चेयर बोला है तो चेयर दिखना चाहिए, वो चेयर की क्वालिटीज़ होनी चाहिए, वो एरोप्लेन नहीं होना चाहिए. सो डोंट बी ओवर क्रिएटिव ऑल्सो एंड डोंट बी ओवर एम्बिशियस ऑल्सो कि आप कुछ भी बना दो, राइट? एंड प्लीज बिलीव मी, यू वोंट हैव सो मच टाइम टू थिंक इन सच वियर्ड मैनर. आपका 2 घंटे में मॉडल ख़त्म हो जाए, यही बहुत बड़ी बात है। और उसके लिए हमें प्रैक्टिस करनी है, उसके लिए हमें रेगुलरली क्लासेस में आके इन द क्लास मॉडल क्रिएट करना है। और फिर जो भी आपको होमवर्क मिलता है, मेक श्योर कि आप 2 या 3 घंटा वो होमवर्क में भी स्पेंड करें। सो प्लीज़ रिमेंबर दैट द सिचुएशन टेस्ट प्रिपरेशन इज़ अ गुड 3 to 4 or 5-6 आवर्स का वर्क ऑन डेली बेसिस फॉर नेक्स्ट 10 days, जितने दिन आपके क्लास होगी। Again, some very abstract structures which I have taken up. I would suggest this is something very complicated because the material that has been used, you might not get it in your examination, right? But I just kept it as a visual to generate more ideas out of it. You can always work around it. Instead of using this, you can use ice cream sticks. You can make these blocks out of thermocol or out of paper. So it depends on it. Also, you need to save time as well, right? Also, I got a query from few students who will be appearing for a particular situation test for a private college, right? So they were really anxious कि हम क्या करें, how do we start? So for them, please start with manipulating paper. Take up past year questions of NIFT. अगर आप हमारे KP डिज़ाइन स्टूडियो के इंस्टाग्राम पे जाते हैं, so you will be seeing I have posted some questions, okay, for you to work on. Why don't you start working with them? And if you are not following us on Instagram, this is the right time to follow us. आपके सारे queries वहाँ पे आंसर होंगे. If you want to ask something, you can just post a comment and we'll be more than happy to answer you. We will be more than happy to maybe make a example wala 3D and post it over there. So please, KP Design Studio, Instagram, start following now. Okay. So let's see what we have over here. So I had picked up a couple of questions. Please remember, you will be given all the past year questions and you will be given mock question papers also, where we are anticipating कि कौन सा question future में इस साल हमारा एग्जाम में आ सकता है, right? So again, बहुत सारे questions आ सकते हैं, 10 से 15 topics हैं, from abstract, product design, object formation, then toys and game, accessory, fashion accessory, social जो issues होते हैं उससे related models आपके बनाने को आ सकते हैं. Toy and game I feel very connected to because that's a very unexplored field, right? And it's not easy to create toys or games for a particular audience, right? Well, we were talking about social issues and this particular question talks about social issues. So, design any one of the following and give a write-up. तो यहाँ पे ये नहीं बोला है कि आपको क्या डिज़ाइन करना है. Whether you are designing a model, whether you are designing a trophy, whether you are designing a mascot, आपको नहीं पता. सिर्फ यहाँ पे दिया है save girl child. आप definitely आपका model could look like a mascot. Your model could be little abstract also if you don't want to go for something very direct, because please remember यहाँ पे save girl child दिया हुआ है. You may or may not make a human figure, और ह्यूमन फिगर भी आपको एग्जैक्ट नहीं बनाना है. यू आर मेकिंग इट लाइक अ मैस्कॉट, यू आर मेकिंग इट इन अ वेरी अनकन्वेंशनल मैनर, राइट? देन मेक इन इंडिया निफ्ट 2015. सो इसका आप अगेन इसके आप मैस्कॉट्स बना सकते हो. सो योर मॉडल कुड लुक लाइक अ मैस्कॉट विच माइट हैव अ क्यूबॉइडल हेड और अ स्क्वायर हेड. ठीक है. सिमिलर क्वेश्चन हैड कम इन सीड, जिसमें क्वेश्चन आया था कि इफ अ ह्यूमन्स हेड इज रिप्लेस्ड बाय अ क्यूबॉइड देन व्हाट द सिनेरियो वुड बी. सो आप यहाँ पर इस तरह का कर सकते हैं. यू कैन मेक अ हाइपोथेटिकल क्रीचर जिसके हेड्स कुड बी मोर ज्योमेट्रिक बिकॉज दैट्स वेरी इजी टू क्रिएट एट अ गिवन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. ठीक है. सो यू कैन डेफिनेटली मेक मैस्कॉट्स. You can add props to it, you can add some interesting color scheme, you can add a little bit of banner in the background which is talking in the sense of symbols which you need to communicate. Remember, you need to communicate using symbols. So here I have some examples. Now you can see again abstract depiction of a human face. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा it's little bit I think literal है because of the eyes and all, but yeah, you can do this much. Also remember आपको थोड़ा सा clay भी दिया जाएगा. If you get clay, so clay becomes very easy to create and to add certain elements to your model. So here we have paper layering. Now please remember ये सारे models जो मैंने आपको images दिए, they are not mixed media. ओके, मिक्स मीडिया का मतलब क्या होता है, आपको ऑलमोस्ट 10 to 15 डिफरेंट मटेरियल मिलेगा और आपको उनको मिक्स करके यूज़ करना है. आपको सिर्फ पेपर नहीं यूज़ करना है, आपको सारे मटेरियल को कहीं ना कहीं यूज़ करना है. बट येस, these particular images have been given to you in terms of exploring the technique. Okay, and you can definitely add on the other material as well. Here, so example of a toy and game which I was telling you. Now toy, remember a toy is just a thing to play with, and a game is something where you have participants. So you need certain number of participants in a game and you need a winner. तो उस तरीके से आपको कोई गेम बनाना है. मोस्टली जैसे एग्ज़ाम में निफ्ट में आया है टॉय एंड गेम, NIT में आया हुआ है टॉय एंड गेम डिज़ाइन करने को. सो इट्स मोस्टली समथिंग विच इज़ टू डू विद एजुकेशन. एजुकेशनल गेम्स बहुत आते हैं. एंड बिलीव मी दैट इंडिया इज वेंचरिंग इनटू द टॉय एंड गेम इंडस्ट्री. Few years back, the government of India, they came up with a very ambitious project where they wanted to surpass China in creation of different games as well as toys. Now this game, and games could be tangible, like which you can play, like a Ludo board ho gaya and all of those things, and games also could be digital. ठीक है, remember the digital platform also. So India has been working to surpass China in terms of the toy and game industry, and that's the reason these colleges like NIFT and NID are giving a lot of focus on improving the kind of education that they are providing for toy and game design students. And in few years this particular market will open up completely. They will require designers who are dedicated in this particular field. Here I have given some examples in terms of creating maybe human faces. As you can see, corrugated sheet has been given and bandage. This particular fabric is also bandage, and muslin fabrics are also very common for these examinations. So you can mix and match them and you can see what suits you, what suits your abilities and what suits your concept. Here we can see few faces, but please remember आपको पेन से कुछ भी ड्रॉ नहीं करना है. You can use maybe अगर आपको buttons दिया गया है, आपको beads दिए गए हैं, you can use them, or you can simply, if you want to make the facial features little prominent, you can use clay, you can use paper, right? So there will be enough material for you to use them. So let's see some of the more images. I'm not discussing any more questions with you. I think for today discussing these many points are more than enough. Okay, please remember that we are starting our situation test batches very soon. We had already had one of the batches ongoing, and the registrations are open. And if you are somebody who wants a one-on-one interaction with the faculties, you can always give us a call. And I hope you understood all the important points that I discussed with you, right? If you have any doubt, you can always connect with us on our Instagram handle, and also you can post your comments on this particular video as well, and we'll be more than happy to come up with more ideas and talk about your problems. Also, I will be working on some live model making also, and we will be posting them soon. So keep a track on this particular space. It's a very crucial time. NIFT का result आने वाला है. So all the best students, all the best for your results. Be positive and start working on all the points that we had mentioned you. Okay. Thank you so much and see you in the next video.